this isn't random. Like, I'm not here because like I just ended up making good music by accident. I wanted this for so long, and like I built my own like world and like worked my way up here. So I know what I'm doing and I'm confident in what I do. Like, I go out on that stage and it's like I know I'm a good DJ and I know how to entertain a crowd and keep them on the edge of their seat. I think there's a certain power in that, and that's also what I do just off the stage.
Mau P, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
So you are just about everywhere these days. You're going from Vegas to Switzerland to Australia to Dubai to India and then back to Salt Lake City. Is this the life that you imagined and dreamed up for yourself?
I think it's exactly what I envisioned for my whole like teenage life, for sure. So still when people ask me like, oh, is it weird, the stuff that you do, or do you have to like adjust to it, or the traveling, like how do you deal with it? I'm like, I wanted this. So like I chose to live a certain lifestyle, and that means I get to do my passion every day, and like my passion is my work at the same time, which is awesome. So it comes with the traveling and the hectic schedules. But yeah, I'm very aware that, before I got into it, that's what it was gonna entail.
Yeah, what was surprising about it though?
I think that sort of the mental part of it is really big, and I've seen a lot of people who weren't in a good place mentally, like they can't tour. Like you have to keep your train on the tracks, sort of mentally, to be able to make sense of everything, because there is like a lot happening, and especially there's a lot of sort of dopamine and adrenaline that you get from like being in front of crowds and getting attention and being in different places, different cultures, different people every day. You just have to sometimes take some time and think about the stuff that happened, and yeah.
Tell me about childhood and sort of what motivated you and what inspired you to get into the world of music?
For the most part, my family, because everyone in my family was a musician. Like music was always around, and like in my house or in my parents' house, the lowest floor was a full-on recording studio, and that was normal for me because that's where my dad used to work. But as a kid, I could just go down and like play drums or play piano or pick up any instrument that he had and like explore the world of music. So when I started to get older and saw other big DJs around 2013 or 2014, when dance music became really big, I was like, I can also just do what my dad is doing. Like how people used to think, like whenever you don't know what job or sector to go in, like you can always take over your dad's company or whatever, which then sort of led me to wanting to produce music on a laptop or on a computer. And like they always really supported that, of course, because they were also in music. So I guess that's really what attracted me.
Obviously, dance music has been around for so long, but we're seeing like a big momentum, especially with, I think, the younger crowds, and I feel like it's kind of bled into the mainstream. What are your thoughts on that?
I think music, like fashion, always goes in waves. So we're now like almost at the top of the wave again of dance music being really big. And I feel like after that 2014 period, hip hop slowly took over. And now, without everyone really noticing, like dance music became really big again. And it's really exciting because it attracts a lot of people to make music, but it's also like harder to stand out, I think. Or when you're really unique, it's easier to stand out because there's so much of the same thing. In general, it's very exciting to have so many people look at our industry.
Yeah, I think you're in a way a masterclass in reinvention with the Maurice West to Mau P transition. On the internet, people are like, wait, I didn't even know he was Maurice West.
Yeah.
And there's a whole Reddit thread about like, what happened to Maurice West?
He's here, that's me.
Tell me about that. Like, what kind of inspired you to make that transition? Like, when did it kind of click? Like, okay, this isn't working for me. And why did you have to like change the stage name? I think is my biggest question.
It was during a time when there was like a lockdown going on, and I was in Amsterdam a lot, and there was still like a little bit of an illegal sort of house party scene going on, so I really got the real Amsterdam sound, just instead of being on a big stage myself every weekend, you know. And I was always more into like house and techno anyways, like that's the shows that I would go to myself, but somehow I just ended up producing, I guess, a more commercial sound of dance music. And I just, during COVID, made so many songs that had nothing to do with my like Maurice West sort of career or artist profile. And when the lockdown and everything ended, my management and the agents were like, this music is amazing, but we can't really like sell it under your last name because it's so far off from what you were doing before. And I had like goals of lineups that I wanted to be on, and it would just make no sense if you saw like Maurice West and you go to his Spotify profile and you would see like a lot of songs in a different genre, because it's like already hard for promoters to like sell an artist, and especially if it already has that sort of like blockade on it being easy to understand what's going on with that artist. Like, what's the sound? Like, who are we gonna see? Is it gonna be commercial EDM? Is it gonna be house just because he likes playing house right now? So then I changed the name.
We have a lot of like conversation, especially with American DJs, about how they can break into the Europe scene. But I want to flip the question and ask you, as a European artist, what was it like breaking into the American scene? What were sort of the steps you had to take?
It was actually really crazy how fast you could scale a project in the US compared to Europe, or even compared to like South America. Because in the US, we started doing shows for 300 people in a club, and we knew that it would sell out and there would be like a big demand for tickets, but we would use that for the next show. So we went to 300,000 and then to 3,000, I think, within a year or maybe 2 years. And like in Amsterdam, I'm still doing shows for people for like 1,000 people.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's way harder to like win people over in Europe, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that on the to-do list to scale yourself in Europe?
I mean, I've been going at it for like ever since I started, but it just so happened that the US picked it up really fast.
I think it's about also creating your own personality on social media, which I feel like you've done really well.
I feel like I understand what's going on in the US too. So for like a US DJ to go to Europe, you would have to understand Europeans, I guess. Like, you need to be able to sit on a terrace smoking a cigarette with a coffee.
Yeah, what's your advice to American DJs?
Exactly that.
Every artist that has left an impact in the industry was because that specific artist did something special in their career. You know, there is an X, there is an Y that's already out there, and I think every artist that goes down in history are the ones that did something new and left an impact on the culture.
We like to stay away from having the same show done twice, while we need to stay consistent with our brand and our show perspective. So we need to bring that back every show while not doing the same. And while we're designing the show, we're always very like on top of things, making sure it never looks the same, we're original, and we try to do something new every time that has not been done before.
Of course, he's going to be growing in so many different ways and, you know, becoming an entrepreneur in different ways, but the artist within is always going to be that person on stage and, you know, feeding off the energy of the crowd and sharing what he loves and sharing what he's been creating to the world.
How do you kind of think of yourself as a business and as a brand? Because you are, you know, as an artist and especially as a DJ, I think it's a whole other sort of business model, right? With the way you guys release music, and we should definitely talk about that. But tell me how you, as the creative, think about business.
I suck at business.
Okay.
Let's start with that. It's a miracle we're here today doing this interview, but I'm really good at making music and I'm really creative. So I use that as my power, and I let Julius and all the other people be really good at you know, their part of the job. And like we all know what our sort of specific tasks are. So I let him do his thing and he completely lets me do my thing. But I do, like, I'm very aware that, you know, some people or a lot of people in this industry see the DJ or the artist as the product. And I realized that when I was pretty young already, just dealing with a booking agency. Like once you're not hot, you're like sort of at the bottom of the food chain over there. And then I also saw the contrast, of course, of like having a song that blows up and all of a sudden everybody wants something from you, and like different managers start to approach you like, hey, can we talk and blah, blah. And
What should you and should you not do, you know, especially as a DJ specifically?
I guess for me personally, like for Mau P, it was just, I really had a vision in mind of how I was going to present myself and how that would work in like today's sort of environment of dance music. And like, you just have to be very, like, what's the saying? Like, keep your ear on the ground, I guess. And like, I do like social media for being able to see what everybody's up to. And I keep track of like the younger producers and everyone, and like new sounds that are starting to sort of pop up and evolve into bigger things. So yeah, I'm just very aware of my surroundings, I guess.
I think it's interesting that you say you're not good at business, because word on the street is that you are launching an imprint, Baddest Behavior Records. Is that true?
Yeah, I am. But I run the creative part.
Okay.
Once again, and like I'm good at talking to the people that are going to release on there, and I'm good at sort of executive producing like the EPs that are going to be happening on that label, and like the visual side of it, the artworks and the rollouts and the whatever. And then there's a lot of work that had to be done on the back end, like getting the right deal with like the right distributor. But like I left that all up to the business people.
Yeah,
I
no, and
guess.
I will say a lot of amazing companies have been started by people who know nothing about business, but they know how to hire.
Exactly. I think, yeah.
So what's
I
going to
relate to
make Baddest Behavior Records different than the other imprints that are out there, the other labels that are out there?
I think I've really found a specific pocket, like a sound that I really like right now. And I think it's just going to be a collective of really sexy, but really cool music.
What's that pocket of sound that you're talking about?
I started to notice it during my shows recently, but I think I found a sound that's that'll keep people dancing for the longest amount of time.
For those who want to know, how can you get signed to, or how can you release a song with Baddest Behavior Records when the time comes?
Make a really good song,
Okay.
I guess, that makes people dance. Because I did make the record label not just for people to listen to the songs, but it's like mostly like club culture, you know? Yeah.
And I guess what motivated you to actually launch a record label?
There were a lot of producers that would send me unsigned music that I would be playing, and then it would get released on someone else's label, which is awesome for them, and they had a moment. But I would love to also be able to help producers in the way that people helped me in the past. And like the way I got here was because some other really big DJs were really nice to me and generous, and like I've just been wanting to keep people, wanting to give people a platform.
My last question for you, if you could go back, you know, and be the kid in the basement, what do you think he would think of everything you've achieved so far?
He'd be really happy, I think, yeah.